when I came to write my screenplay, I started off by writing out some rough drafts for what scenes I would have. So, for example, some basically these rough drafts on the camera shots I would use. So, I would, for example, think of, because of my idea, I would think of what kind of food I want to turn into a carrot. Not want to, but for the film. And then I think of what food, and then think of what camera angle can make this work. So, for example, I could have a pie, and he cooks the pie in the oven, and then when he opens the oven, you get behind the pie, or the carrot, shot, so you're in the oven as the camera, looking up at the actor who's looking down at the carrot. And I thought that would be an interesting shot because you don't really often see in-oven shots, because it's not a done thing. I wasn't sure of how to start my film, so I asked my teacher about it, and he gave me the idea of starting off with the main character looking straight forwards, we're the back of his head. So he's looking straight forwards, and then we either pan in or we slowly zoom around him. Probably give it a pan in and slow pan in, because if you do fast pan in, it just doesn't work, as I found out with my test footage. But we have a slow pan into the back of his head, and then we cut away to a shot of him glaring, and then a shot of the carrot to show what he's glaring at, because the slow panning in and the shot to his face and then to the carrot, and it adds suspense and tension, well, not really tension, but suspense-ish. The suspense carrot, obviously. It builds up the comedy as well. It adds tension-ish, as I said, but it also adds comedy, because you kind of drag it out and it seems like it's going to be something big or epic, and then it's just a carrot, which is kind of the idea of the film, to make it look big and epic and then make it just a carrot. I started trying to think of different foods I could have to turn into carrots, and they weren't in any particular order, but because of the nature of my film, I could kind of take the scenes and put them in any order, because they didn't really have to be in a chronological order, except for the last scene, which my friend gave me the idea of, which is the actor goes to kiss a girlfriend, and then she becomes a carrot, and then it's a big dramatic ending when he's making out with a carrot. But I thought of different ideas, which were soup, pie, sandwich, chocolate bar, his girlfriend, which wasn't really my idea, but that's the point, cereal, and cheese. And I also thought of spaghetti, the spaghetti alphabets you get. He kind of takes one of those out and it spells the word carrot, but I started trying to think of different camera angles and how I could use these shots, or these scenes, what I could do with them, and for some of them, they weren't going to work. So, for example, the cheese one might not be so strong, because you could grate some cheese and then into a bowl, and then the bowl would peel a carrot peel rather than cheese, and then the lump of cheese that you just grated would be the remainder of the carrot that's being peeled. And that could work, but I'm not too sure. And the cereal idea, that wasn't going to work, because I could do some carrot in a bowl of milk, but that wouldn't be too great. It would be hassle to clean up, it wouldn't be too funny, it would kind of be lacking. However, a few ideas, such as the pie, the soup, the bacon sandwich, I quite like those, because I thought of some ideas I could do with something I could do with them, like the pie, the in-oven shot, the bacon sandwich, when it gets the bacon out, I have an in-fridge shot, just things like that. But to start off with, I was going to put in dialogue, and I did start planning to put in dialogue. And then my teacher came around, and he read it, and he said, "Do you read in dialogue?" And he explained that the film, because it's so simplistic, the dialogue would kind of make it too complicated, because obviously dialogue is that complicated, but anyway, the addition of dialogue would kind of take away from the essence of the film, if you know what I mean. You probably don't, but, well, I don't know. But adding dialogue would be an unnecessary addition, which wouldn't really add anything to the film, and would take away some of the comedic effect. Sorry. As I said earlier, because of the nature of the film, I can tweak which order the scenes go in, so I was just playing around seeing what kind of actions between scenes, or like actions that lead to each scene, I could do each scene, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And because it's in my house, I know the layout of the house, so I know what order he should find food objects in, and that kind of thing, so I had a pretty good understanding of how I was going to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much how I went about writing my screenplay.